Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth. This is EJ Joyful Plans, and today we are planning in my Skinny Classic Planner from the Happy Planner. Now I'm going Bujo inspired, meaning I'm using dot grid filler paper for my weekly layout instead of the pre-printed pages that come in the planner. So, and the other thing that's really exciting, I'm really excited about, we are on week 2 of 3 weeks of Christmas trees in my planner leading up to Christmas. So if you want to see how a Skinny Classic Happy Planner Bujo inspired with a washi Christmas tree turns out, then just keep watching. All right, guys, voiceover Elizabeth here. The first thing that I did was grabbed a piece of wax paper, a black permanent pen, and I'm just drawing the shape of a Christmas tree that I would like to have in my layout. And I'm putting it over the place where I want the Christmas tree to be, just so that I have a good sense for size. Now, I want to preface this by saying this is not my original method. I saw a reel of it on Instagram. I don't remember who I saw it from, but I'm not the first person to do this, and I hope I'm not the last. I hope this is something that you guys try. So you can use any washi tape you want. I grabbed a lot that looked Christmassy and that would look good together, and I'm just playing around with the order in which I want to lay these up the Christmas tree. So I've settled on my washi. I'm starting with the red. The most important thing to do when you're using wax paper and washi like this is to slightly overlay the washi tape on top of each other. That way it's all kind of sticking together like one giant sticker. Now, do as I'm saying right now, not as what you are seeing right now. I used 2 types of washi. One is your typical paper washi. The other was fabric washi. The mistletoe-y looking washi above the red and the buffalo plaid that I'm laying down right now, that is fabric washi. And I do not recommend using fabric washi. So I'll point out the reason why once we get to it. It's very cute. I love the way that it looks, and it turned out okay. But if you want to try this and you're a little nervous about it, then I would not start with the fabric washi. It's a different texture. It's a different level of stickiness, and it was problematic in the end. So once you've laid all of your tape down, you're ready to cut it out. A couple things to note when you're cutting it out. Cut within the inside of the lines because the black ink was definitely bleeding onto the washi tape. So I was trying to cut on the inside so that no black would be showing on the paper. One way that you can avoid this, which, you know, hindsight is 20/20, I always say, put the washi tape on the side of the wax paper that does not have the black ink on it. That will avoid there being a transfer of ink onto the tape. So this is where I wish that I had not used fabric washi. It was really difficult to cut. I couldn't cut it smoothly. It needed to be cut by a different part of the scissors. So it wasn't as smooth as the paper washi when I was going through the cutting process. So reason number 1, it's difficult to cut when it's layered with all of the paper washi. But other than that, I can see that it's also better to use big images when you're doing this method so that you don't want to do a lot of detail cutting where the washi gets super thin. For a brief moment, I considered putting the tree down the spine, but just left of center. And I just was like, Elizabeth, stop trying to be so extra. Put it where you plan to put it. So now you're seeing me peel off the wax paper. You got to do it real gingerly. Take your time. This is reason number 2 why I would not recommend fabric washi. The wax paper really wanted to stick onto the adhesive on the back of that. And so it's way tackier than regular washi. I was able to get the wax paper off a pretty good chunk of the Christmas tree before the tree broke. I think if the whole thing had been fabric washi, it would have been a disaster. So I'm pretty happy with about half the tree sticking together. Now, when I'm laying the Christmas tree, I am more concerned with there not being white on that right end, where it really looks like the tree is off the edge of the paper. So that means I'm not really perfectly aligning the tree. I'm focused more on making sure that it hits the edge, which ends up being a little bit of an issue at the end because I went so off of the edge that the tip of the tree didn't fit on the paper, but that's okay. I'd rather have it be full bleed to the very end than have a little bit of white because the tree doesn't fully go up to the edge of the paper. So I'm just cutting off the excess there. So then I decided I'm just going to be a little bit extra and do the same method, but for a star on the tree. And here I'm just trying to figure out what yellow I want to put. Some of the yellow washi that I have is so bright, but this muted yellow is perfect. So I'm repeating the same method. I'm drawing the star that I want. And I really, really, really wish that the richer yellow that I'm using, I wish I had that color in a wider washi tape because this was laborious. It was laborious having to overlay a bunch of really thin washi, but the texture at the end ended up being super cool, but it is a bit of a process. So you have to be willing to kind of sit and play with paper if you do something like this. And thankfully, even though I was using so many strips of really thin washi, it all came off really, really well. And look at that texture. It's so cute. I was really, really happy with that. Really, really happy. Okay, so now I did quite a bit of editing on this part of the video because I went through so many sticker books trying to figure out how I wanted the rest of this layout to go. But I knew I wanted to grab the deep green boxes from the new Jewel Tone Boxes book. I have been loving this book so much. So I'm laying it down upside down because it had words up at the top. It had a header and I wasn't interested in using the header. And I had this moment of genius. I really loved this idea. I grabbed scraps from the Christmas tree and I was laying it over the box and I'm like, I think this could pass as Christmas presents. So I took the scraps and I did just that. I peeled them off and I laid them down along the bottom of the box like a Christmas tree. Well, excuse me, not like a Christmas tree, like presents under the Christmas tree. And because it was the same exact washi, the Christmas presents matched the Christmas tree. So I was pretty happy with how that turned out. And of course, I had to add some bows to the tree. So basically all I did was layer 2 half hearts on top of each other. And that's how you do a little bow. And I filled them in as well with a gray Tombow pen. Then I grab a long skinny box, also from the Jewel Tone Boxes book, and repeat the same process with the extra washi from the Christmas tree. And I decided to lay it over the big box rather than align with the skinny box because I wanted them to be grounded like they're sitting on top of the box. So really love how this turned out. Kind of a spur of the moment decision that panned out just fine and creates a lot of balance on the spread. And of course you have to add the bows as well. Same thing, I'm doing half hearts, one inside another, and that's how I did the bow. So you're gonna see here that magically out of nowhere, there are some triangle boxes. Those end up going away, so just disregard those. I played with so many different stickers that the video was going to be way too long if I showed you everything. So you can just pass on by those. I did add some black colorful boxes for headers, just to add more black to the spread because the buffalo plaid is so strong on the other side. So then I grabbed another colorful box that says important just to balance out and get one more category of things I want to write in the spread that week. And of course it has to match, so I've got the Christmas presents going on the box as well. So this is where, this is another area where I get lost in all of my sticker books. I'm trying to find quotes. I'm trying to find a skinny quote that can go to the left of the long box. And I'm trying to find a quote that I can put to the left of the Christmas tree, basically as filler, because I don't need to write anything else in this spread. So I add the Cozy and Comfy sticker, and off screen, I did add numbers from the Planner Basics sticker book for the dates of the week. And now I'm through and looking for, well, letters for December, which I'll put on the left side of the page. And you'll see here too, I also did change out eventually those triangle bullets in favor of small green bullets. So since I moved the numbers over to the right side, I've got room to put the year 2020. I at first wanted all of the font to be the same so it would be matchy-matchy. And when I realized there's no way I'm going to get the same font for the numbers, for the quote, for the month, I just decided all of the font should be different. So these numbers came from an accessory kit that I got from Hobby Lobby. So all the font is different, but I think that works in this spread. Now the hunt for a skinny quote to put on the left side. I went through all of my holiday themed books. I went through the Memory Keeper book. I went through Merry and Bright. I went through Christmas Joy. And all of the quotes, they're cute quotes, but none of them are narrow. And so I was on such the struggle bus. I spent several minutes trying to find a quote for that left side. And finally, I grabbed the Memory Keeper Floral Memories book that has nothing to do with Christmas. And I saw one that said Happy Times in red font. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is perfect. And it has nothing to do with Christmas, except that Happy Times are very Christmassy. So I was so excited to find this sticker after minutes and minutes of looking, and it's perfect. All right, friends, that concludes the spread for this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time, that you learned something new. And if you like what you saw, hit that like button. If you want to hang out with me again, I do hope that you will subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I will post the third week of Christmas trees sometime next week. In the meantime, God bless you and keep you. Do something creative today, and come hang out with me over on Instagram. Until next time, guys, cheers.